Hello and welcome to the channel. During the former president's administration, Muhammadu Buhari, this ministerial nominee was rejected by the Senate for skipping the National Youth Service Corps NYSC. She is back for a second time, and it is unclear if she has done the program. So, will she be second time lucky? Perhaps. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Tinubu's ministerial nominee was once rejected by Senate for skipping NYSC. All eyes are now on the Nigerian Senate to see if it would contradict itself and confirm a nominee it rejected 3 years ago for failing to show evidence that she participated in the mandatory National Youth Service scheme. Former President Muhammadu Buhari had on 29 September 2020 nominated lawyer Hannatu Musawa for appointment as National Commissioner representing Nigeria's Northwest Geopolitical Zone on the National Pension Commission PENCOM Board. That nomination came about 3 years after Mr. Buhari appointed as chairperson of the board of the National Hair Care Center, Kaduna. But on October 20, 2020, the Senate in plenary declined to approve her appointment following a report by its Committee on Establishment and Public Service Matters that she failed to provide evidence that she either participated in national service after graduating from the university or was exempted from the scheme. Presenting his committee's report at the time, the chairperson, Ibrahim Shekaru, said because of the National Youth Service gap in her resume, Mrs. Musawa was considered ineligible for appointment to public office and that her confirmation was therefore stood down. The year-long national service organized by the National Youth Service Corps NYSC is compulsory for Nigerians who graduate from universities or equivalent institutions at under 30 years of age. Participation in the national service is a statutory requirement for government and private sector jobs in Nigeria. The NYSC enabling law prescribes punishment for anyone who fails to participate in the scheme, absconds while in service, or forges the program's certificate. Eligible Nigerians who skipped the service are to be sentenced to 12 months imprisonment and or 2,000 naira fine, according to Section 13 of the NYSC law. On September 15, 2015, Nigeria's then Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, resigned from office following a Premium Times investigation exposing her for skipping NYSC and then forging an exemption certificate years after graduation. Following the Senate rejection of Mrs. Musawa's appointment to PENCOM in 2020, then President Buhari withdrew her nomination and forwarded the name of Umaru Farouk Aminu to replace her. On 8 December 2020, the Senate confirmed Mr. Aminu's appointment. He is still in office. Mr. Shekaru, the chair of the Senate committee that disqualified Mrs. Musawa, is no longer a member of the Upper Legislative Chamber, but his deputy at the time, Barinada Mpigi, PDP River South East Senatorial District, was re-elected on 25th February and remains in service as a member of the current 10th Senate. It is unclear why he and other senators who voted to disqualify her 3 years ago did not remind the chamber of that episode when Mrs. Musawa appeared before lawmakers for a confirmation hearing on Tuesday, 1st August. At the session, senators failed to interrogate her or scrutinize the documents she submitted. After she read a prepared emotional text detailing what she described as her lowly family background, lawmakers asked her to take a bow and go. In the well-made exotic white file she submitted to lawmakers, the nominee failed to include a curriculum vitae and degree certificates in what appears to be an attempt to make it difficult for senators to determine our educational qualifications and NYSC status easily. According to her LinkedIn profile, she holds a law degree from the University of Buckingham and 2 masters from the University of Cardiff and the University of Aberdeen, but she did not include evidence of those certifications in her file. She only included a senior school certificate issued by the West African Examination Council in 1992 and a membership of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, London. She also included a beautiful portrait of herself Smiling at the senators, she listed her referees as Theophilus Danjuma, retired Army General and former Minister of Defense, Aminu Dantata, billionaire businessman, philanthropy and elder statesman, and Osita Okechukwu, Director General of the Voice of Nigeria. When contacted Friday morning, Mr. Okechukwu said, "Our position on this matter is that going by the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria as amended, the educational qualification for becoming a minister is same with that for becoming a House of Representatives member. Any other qualification cannot disqualify a nominee. Hanatu Musawa is highly qualified for the position for which Mr. President has nominated her." When asked if he believes the NYSC Act is now irrelevant for appointments to public office, Mr. Okechukwu said that point was not for him to make. On her part, Mrs. Musawa said she was still sleeping and unable to respond to our reporter's inquiry when she was contacted at 8:15 a.m. Friday. She did not answer subsequent calls made to her by our reporter. President Bola Tinubu on June 19 appointed Mrs. Musawa as a special advisor on culture and entertainment economy before later nominating her to his cabinet on 27 July, suggesting that the president conducts little or no due diligence on his appointees. The spokesperson to the president, Ajuri Ngelale, did not answer or return calls made to him Friday morning. He is also yet to respond to messages sent to him seeking his comments on this matter. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Recall that ministerial nominee from Katsina State, Hanatu Musawa, could not control her emotions on Tuesday when she broke down in tears while appearing before the Senate for screening. Mrs. Musawa, a lawyer, was among the 28 Nigerians nominated by President Bola Tinubu as ministers last Thursday. She is currently the presidential advisor on culture and entertainment economy. She was the 9th nominee screened by the upper chamber on Tuesday. When she was asked to introduce herself and summarize her resume by the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, Mrs. Musawa began to speak about her family background and her upbringing, but at some point betrayed her emotion and started shedding tears. Mrs. Musawa said she came from a poor family struggling to survive, but that her father, Musa Musawa, a politician, ensured she got the desired Western education. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Bye.